Hi, this is Oscar from AustralTech. On this video, I will show you how to create a file virtual machine using VMware Workstation. So the first step is to get the actual software image. So go to download.fi.com. You will get to this page. You do need an account on the site in order to download the software image. If you don't have an account, just create one because it's free to do it. So just create one. Login in, and then you will get to this page. So download.fi.com, and you will get to this. Then let's click on find a download. You will get to this other page where you have all the different products from F5. So we are going to be working with BIG-IP version 13. Okay, so we click on this link and you will get to this other page with all those different files that you can download for that specific version. So for example, hotfixes, a signature for the application web firewall, and so on. So we are going to be working with version 13. You may think that you need to click in here, but actually don't click in this link, because this link is for software image version 13 for installing on hardware appliances. Okay, but we are not going to be working with the hardware appliance. We want to install a virtual edition, so you actually need to click on this link, virtual edition, and you will get to this other page with all of different virtual editions that we have for that particular version, which is version 13. So for example, you can get the version for Microsoft or Citrix or VMware. We are going to be working with VMware. Okay, here it says ESX. Actually, in the same software image actually works on Workstation as well. And then you have two types of file, the all or the LTM. Basically, the all means that you are going to get all the modules in that software image, so LTM, CTM, ASM, and so on. If you get the LTM file, you will only be able to use the LTM module. Okay, that is fine if you want to use LTM, and that means that you get a smaller file, right? Actually, if you want, for example, to try LTM or CTM, APM, and so on, you need to download the all module. I usually get the all modules. Okay, so go ahead and download the one for VMware, which is this one. Okay, if you click in here, the download process will start. I already got that image, okay, to speed this up. So if I go to my download folder, I already have that software image, as you can see. So now that we got the software image, what we need to do is to import this on VMware Workstation. So basically open your VMware Workstation, okay, and go to open. Okay, we don't want to create a new virtual machine. This is if you are installing a operating system from scratch, right, with a ISO file, for example. But here we already have the OBE file, which is a template for virtual machine, so we kind of already have the virtual machine created. So let's open. Okay, and if you go to download, okay, you have the OBE file, so you can select that OBE file. And basically what is happening here is we are importing the virtual machine. Okay, so here we can set the name. Okay, so I'm going to set this as BIG-IP 13 AustralTech. Okay, and we click on next. By default, you have 2 CPUs, 4 GB of RAM. Okay, and that is okay for starting. And let's start with the import process. So in regards of resource provisioning, 2 CPUs and 4 gigs of RAM is okay, for example, for a LTM module. Okay, or if you are going to use CTM, the other product. But if you want, for example, to use ASM, which is the web application firewall, you may want to assign more resources to the virtual machine. Or on the other hand, if you want, for example, to combine two modules on the same virtual machine, you can actually do that. For example, to run ATM and TTM on the same virtual machine, you can do that. But if you do that, you may want to assign more resources to this virtual machine. Okay. So as explained here, what we are doing is we are importing the virtual machine that we got from FI. Is this kind of template that they produce for the virtual machine. So the import process is finished. The next step is not really necessary to do this step, but it's going to help us later on. So by default, this virtual machine has 4 interfaces. The first interface is the management interface, and the other 3 interfaces are TMM interfaces, which are used for the actual application traffic, the load balancing, and so on. So because this is a demo and we are just starting, I'm going to disconnect all the other interfaces. I'm going to be worried about the first interface, which is the management one. Okay. For the management one, what I use for my virtual machines is VMnet 1. So that is the virtual network that I use for managing my virtual machines. It could be different on your setup. Okay, this depends on how you are running VMware and so on. But usually I use this virtual network for managing my virtual machine. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to connect this interface. Okay, and I'm going to leave all the others disconnected for now. So save this, and now we can start the virtual machine. VMware, and now the virtual machine is booting up. This is the usual grab menu for a big IP virtual machine, and you will see that the virtual machine is booting up. So later on, what we are going to do is we are going to set a management IP address on this device, right? So we need to decide what is the management IP address that we're going to use. On my environment, as I explained before, I have VMnet 1, which is what I use for managing virtual machines. So you can see that I have an IP address on that network, which is 172.16.253.1. Okay, so this is the IP address of my computer on that network, and this is the last 24. So we need to set an IP address in this network for the virtual machine, like for example 172.16.253.200. So we're going to use 200 for this virtual machine. Okay. So let's go back to workstation, and we can see that the virtual machine is still booting up. Okay, and let's check the interfaces connected and connected power on, VMnet 1, and all the others are disconnected. This is the most difficult part, on my opinion, on creating this virtual machine, is to get the connectivity right. Okay, to establish the connectivity between your computer and the actual virtual machine. But remember, this is a console in here, like a virtual console that we are using for connecting to the device. At some point, we need to connect to the device using SSH or a browser, HTTPS. So in order to do that, we need an IP address. Okay? So that's it. Basically, this is the process for creating the virtual machine. I'm going to log in with the root and default credentials. Okay, so root default are the credentials. Okay, root default, your root password default are the credentials for the machine. So you can see this is the actual CLI for the device. On the next video, I will show you actually how to configure the IP address on a virtual machine.